Welcome to Chainsaw Cinema Review, live on the beach. Summer. Who doesn't love summertime? Going to your local pool, going to the beach, going to a summer camp, getting chased by a mass killer in said summer camp. But with all good things, summer must come to an end as we enter arguably the next best season, fall. So what better way to end our summer movie motif than with the movie taking place out of summer camp? Why don't you tell them what movie we're reviewing?
We are reviewing 2023's Hell of a Summer, written and directed by Wolfhard and Bryk.
A comedy horror that takes inspiration from summer camp slashers. We follow a group of counselors who are being terrorized by a mass killer in a devil's mask. Co-written and directed by Wolfhard, who is no stranger to the horror genre, will team up with Bryk to create this pretty entertaining slasher that fits right in with the likes of Friday the 13th and Sleepaway Camp. Particularly the second one, I would say.
What are you looking for? A gun? No? A drill.
Have you ever seen this movie before? Is this another first time watch?
Yes, it is.
This summer has been filled with a lot of first time watches, hasn't it?
It has.
Yeah, but you know what? It is never too late though. Is there any particular reason why we picked this movie?
Probably because it has summer in the name of it.
That is true, but I would argue it's another reason too. Would it happen to be because Wolfhard's in it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Alright, that is the end of our intro. Let's get into our movie review.
We begin this movie with the guy and girl sitting by a campfire. We see the guy trying to tune a guitar but gets zapped by a fly swatter by the girl sitting next to him. She keeps zapping him and tells him to play the Pine Way song. He insists he needs practice but still plays it. After the song is over, the girl gets up to go and get more drinks. As she leaves, leaving the guy alone, we hear a sinister score get louder. Cutting to the girl grabbing the drink from the fridge, and as she closes it, we see a photo of the two of them as an X falls on the guy. Walking back to the campfire, she asks what happened to the music but stumbles upon the dead body of the person. Running to the car, as she gets in and starts the car, she sits there frozen, only for us to realize she's been stabbed in the head by a mass killer in a devil mask. Cutting to the title sequence.
Now that I actually did find a little funny because she was just sitting there like...
Right, she is just sitting there for a minute. You're kind of wondering like, start the car, like what the hell? Come on.
Like just turn it on, gas pedal.
But like what you say, right? It's pretty funny, but I gotta say, this intro starts off pretty strong though.
It does.
It really does, right? I mean, like, it's giving off typical slasher vibes already from the get-go. Campfire, counselors, sinister score, a mass killer. I mean, it starts off pretty strong though, I will say. Open to a guy with his head out the window of a moving car, only for the driver to roll it up, insisting she's cold. We find out he's missing out on an internship to be a camp counselor at a summer camp, but he insists the directors called him for help. We get various shots throughout the camp upon arrival. As the guy steps out of the vehicle, the driver, who we assume is his mother, apologizes to him but leaves disappointed. We cut to two guys in a red car, one looking at his reflection in the side mirror as the other one drives. He asks if he looks good and contemplate whether this year at camp will be different because they are now counselors. Again, the next scene opens up with Wolfhard and Bryk driving. You know, we already see the dynamic. They're friends in real life, so that's pretty cool. So it's fitting they only play friends in here. You know, I think that's what makes their dynamic even funnier. So.
I was just saying, I was just looking at the TV and saying, take off the glasses. I need to know if it's really you.
Oh, come on. You know it's him. He got that, like, you know, strong chin line, you know.
He does.
Wolfhard is pretty recognizable, though.
But also, I thought that guy with the peanut allergy was Timothy Chalamet.
I thought it became more Timothy Chalamet. As they arrive at camp, we see the other camp counselors chanting together. We see another counselor who arrived by the name of Demi with an SUV full of luggage. We find out the guy who arrives first name is Jason. He offers to help Demi with the luggage, to which she agrees, but doesn't help at all. Jason, who we find out is very awkward, tries talking to Demi, but she blows him off, and we learn that she is a social media influencer. As Jason is walking around, we are introduced to another counselor by the name of Ezra. He's moving weirdly, but we find out he's practicing being Pinocchio because he's conducting a play. Ezra comments that he's surprised to see Jason this year, but he insists that John and Kathy called him for help. We see the next two counselors, Ari and Shannon, as Ari's trying to get Shannon to read his screenplay. Funny enough, he insists it's all an allegory about traumatic experiences and compares it to his nut allergy. I mean, seriously, he plays it like so sincere with this whole allegory for traumatic experiences and his nut allergy. For real, it's so fucking silly. There are people who do that though,
Yeah.
Like for real. I think that's what makes it even funnier.
It is.
We see the two guys in the red car arrive. Much to Ari's annoyance, we find out their name are Chris and Bobby. And Bobby is upset that he didn't get to do the chant from earlier because Mike did it first, even though they weren't supposed to be there until 9:45. We see an empty cabin door jiggle, and we see a girl trying to open it. Jason, who knows her, helps her out. She comments on him being back, but again he tells her that John and Kathy needed help and doesn't understand the big deal about it. We learned that last year was supposed to be Jason's last year at camp, and that he even gave a speech to which he cried at the end. As they start to catch up, we learn that her name is Claire, and we see that she doesn't just blow off Jason as the other counselors do. Jason goes back to the director's cabin and finds a note saying that they'll be back later. We cut to Mike telling a story about fighting cops, but Jason interrupts, telling them that he is in charge for the meantime, and that they are all in safe hands. We see a girl named Miley ask about vegan items, and Jason says he can make tofu burgers. He asks for all their phones as per camp rules as they walk out and decide to get crazy. We cut to a montage of them getting silly by the lake, smoking and drinking. We were introduced to our last counselor named Noelle, reading a book about spirits. Jason comments about her being alone, and she retorts that she is not alone. So we get introduced to so many people within the first 20 minutes of this movie. Kind of hard to keep up with all of them, right? I was kind of like, oh shoot, it's just bam, off the bat, as
boom,
each,
boom,
yeah, no,
boom.
for real, it really does. It feels like that. But again, like I said, this is giving very much Friday the 13th vibes already, right? It's setting up the counselors. We already have a killer in mind, so we get a POV shot of something lurking in the water going towards Demi. But we learned it was Mike playing a prank. Chris and Bobby watched the whole thing and commented on how everyone else came early but them. But we see Chris go off to talk to Shannon mid-conversation. We see Claire shooting an arrow at a target but it's missing. Blaming the bow, Jason proves her wrong by making 2 bullseyes in a row. Jason comments on John and Kathy being gone and thinks it's a test to see if Jason could run the camp. Claire doesn't seem to think so, and after seeing Mike and Demi being cute, she tries to get Jason to do the same, but he ultimately doesn't. So, this bow scene, I know I haven't showed you Sleepaway Camp, but I want to say Sleepaway Camp that has an infamous, archery kill scene.
Oh.
I want to say it's Sleepaway Camp, but that's what that scene reminded me of. That had to have been a homage to that scene. It really had. We cut to Bobby washing Chris's car as Shannon walks up to him asking about Chris. Getting annoyed, we see Demi walk up commenting about his car, but Shannon shuts it down and we see Bobby leave angrily. Bobby, now upset that almost everyone has someone to be with this summer, sits by himself sulking until Jason arrives in an attempt to cheer him up. After a heartfelt pep talk, Bobby thanks Jason and introduces himself, only to find out that they've been going to camp together for the past 8 years. As the camp counselors all get together for burgers on the grill, Miley asks for her tofu burger. Bobby attempts to convince Miley he too is also a vegan, only for it to fall apart after telling her he's a Scorpio. Damn, RIP to all my Scorpios out there. I know y'all all aren't that bad. That was pretty funny though, right? It was all working out until she commented he's a Scorpio.
Shouldn't have said that.
Shouldn't have said that. RIP. We see Ari get mad at Claire for eating a granola bar, even though they are feet apart from each other. Claire points out that her granola bar doesn't have any nuts, but Ari still explodes and walks away. That part's pretty funny.
They're so far away from each other.
Literally. But no, that scene is still pretty funny. Night falls at camp and Jason starts chopping wood, and we see a POV shot of someone entering Demi's camp. Demi assumes it's Mike, asks a question if only for us to realize it's the masked killer. We cut to some back and forth shots of Jason chopping wood and blood being splattered all over the mirror back of the cabin. Everyone else is at a campfire while Mike tells his story again of fighting a cop, only for Jason to interrupt his story again, causing everyone to be upset and for Mike to start his story all over again. Jason looks at old camp photos in his cabin while Claire sneaks up on him. Claire asks why he's not at the bonfire, but he insists he's busy. Claire manages to convince him. As they walk to the bonfire, we see Chris and Shannon making out.
Oh, what the fuck?
Shannon pulls back and asks Chris if he's going to tell Bobby what happened, to which he replies, yeah, which Shannon assumes correctly. Back at the bonfire, we see Bobby attempt to jump the bonfire, but gets psyched out after Ari calls him a name, to which she calls the sun off. As the night of fun starts to end, we see Miley in the kitchen telling herself she won't eat the burger in front of her. But as she's about to bite into it, we see the masked killer walk in. She tells him, it's beyond meat, but still gets killed. Mike, who was nearby, goes to check in on the noise he heard, only to get caught by the killer as well. We cut to Shannon telling Claire about the fling she and Chris had, as we see Chris tell Bobby the same thing. Shannon tells Claire how he plans to take gender studies, to which Claire tells her that he's the perfect guy, while Bobby calls him an absolute sucker.
Oh.
That's one of my favorite parts right there. Again, I love the relationship Chris and Bobby have, and it only makes sense that they written and directed this movie together. Like, for real, like, their whole dynamic it's hilarious.
It is.
We hear banging on Chris and Bobby's door, only for it to be Jason, who was just making his rounds, but they quickly shut him down. After leaving the cabin, Jason makes his way to the next cabin, walking in on a bloody mess in Demi's cabin. Jason freaks out and runs back to the rest of the counselors, telling them that Demi has been killed, with no one believing him. He goes and gets their phone, only to find out that they are gone. Convincing them to finally go out and check Demi's cabin, the body is gone, leaving only the blood-stained sheets. After confirming it's real blood, they all go out screaming, racing back to their cars. Chris finds a knife in one of his tires, but Bobby tells them to go anyways, only for no one's car to start. Honestly, that is a realist thing. I don't care if I have a flat tire. If there's a mass killer, I'm driving that. I'm driving it. I am. Like, I'm not gonna pull over. I'm not gonna even try to fix a tire. I'm riding the rim. That's just me personally. I'm riding that rim. I'm getting away.
But how are you gonna ride it if the tire's flat?
I'm gonna ride that rim. It may mess up my wheels, but I'm getting the hell out of there. So that is the realest thing I've seen in a horror movie. With the realization that they're all stuck there with the killer on the loose, they all group in a cabin as they discuss what to do next. Jason suggests that they try the landline in the mill hall, but Ari and Ezra protest. No one wanted to go to the mill hall with Jason. They decided to pick drawing cards, with the lowest two numbers going with Jason. Funny enough, Ari and Ezra gets picked. After they were the two ones like protesting, that was pretty funny. Upon entering the mill hall, they find that the landline has been cut. And as they go to the kitchen, they notice something leaking out of the fridge. As they open the fridge, we see the decapitated head of Miley. The three of them freak out and panic, and Ari and Ezra run out first, and Jason trips or runs back to the cabin. Being the first one back to the cabin, Jason tells them what he saw in the kitchen, but continues to look out for Ari and Ezra. As they wait for the others to arrive, they decide to ask an Ouija board questions about what's going on. After asking a few questions to the spirits, we see someone barge in the cabin, as Bobby yells ghost and grabs his bear spray, only for him to spray Ezra in the eyes. You notice how he yells ghost, when obviously there's no ghost, right? I mean,
there's no ghost. It's a human person. If there was a
Right?
ghost, only you can see it.
We cut to Ari being tied up in a chair, screaming for the help as the killer walks up from behind him. The killer, wielding a knife, walks over to a counter, and we see the killer has a jar of peanut butter. Ari notices and starts screaming more as the killer dips his knife into the peanut butter and continues to Ari. That scene made me chuckle, man. I mean, this whole peanut allergy thing, only for the killer to use it against them. That was pretty funny.
I love that.
I mean, I'm just glad they actually incorporated that into the kill.
Yeah.
Like, for real. Getting back to the cabin, we see Bobby apologize to Ezra, but he's not having it. After explaining what happened after he ran out, Ezra accuses Jason of being the killer. Jason pleads he's not the killer, but everyone does not believe him, with each stating a reason why he could be the killer. They bound and gag Jason as they discuss how to torture him, but Claire isn't convinced Jason is the killer. Knocks out Bobby and sets Jason free, fleeing from the counselors. The counselors decide to go and search for their phones, while Jason and Claire, walking through the woods, stumble upon the bodies of John and Kathy. Noelle, searching her house by herself, ultimately gets caught by the killer, saying finally with her last breath. Just as the killer is about to finish the job, we see a second mass killer arrive. Cutting back to Jason and Claire, Jason decides to go back and help the rest of the counselors, even though they almost try to torture him. Claire tries to convince him, but he gives her the bracelet she made him 2 years ago. We see Chris walking to the cabin looking for Noelle, but finds Mike and Demi alive and well. As we see Mike go for a knife, Chris shouts how happy he is that they are alive. The rest of the counselors explain to Mike and Demi how they believe Jason's the killer. Cutting to Demi and Mike talking in private, with Demi being mad that Jason is ruining their plans. Mike suggests that they let Jason take all the credit rather than being famous in jail, and much to Demi's dismay, she agrees. Jason grabs the axe from earlier while Mike and Demi record video confessions blaming everything on Jason, going forth with their plan. Jason finds Mike alive after falling from a window and drops his axe and gets knocked out. We see Ezra monologuing on stage as the killer creeps up behind him. Shannon tries to warn him, but it's too late as the killer breaks his leg. Get it? He's a theater kid, and the killer broke his leg. You know, it's like that I was saying, hey, go break a leg.
Oh, yeah.
The irony of it all was hilarious, man. I mean, seriously, that was good. And it was like, when Shannon's like, to your left, he's like, stage left? Or that was pretty funny. That was good. That was a good.
I don't even know what stage left is.
It's something for theater kids. You know, it's like a theater kid thing.
Oh.
Yeah. We see the killer put Jason's prints all over the murder weapons. As Chris goes searching for Shannon, the killer is out looking for the rest of the counselors. Demi wakes up Jason, who yet again is bound and gagged, tries screaming for help, but to no avail. The killer, who we the audience now know as Mike at this point, goes searching for Chris, while Bobby and Shannon try to distract the killer. Bobby almost gets psyched out again, but manages to build up the courage and shout, "What's up?" before getting chased by the killer. Shannon finds Chris hiding, with Chris proclaiming his love for her. Bobby runs to the cabin and the killer corners him, but gets knocked out by Claire, who asks where Jason is. Bobby points down, but Claire tells him it's not Jason, as Bobby realizes it is Mike. We go back to Jason, who tries to talk to Demi, but she finally shows her true colors, showing off how truly unhinged she really is. As Bobby and Mike are fighting, we see Claire go to the target range. Jason questions Demi why him, but she tells him she wasn't the only one who blamed him, and how she wanted all the credit until Claire bursts in with the bow and arrow in hand. Mike grabs a pocket knife as Bobby reflects, not jumping over the fire. He grabs a log only for it to burn him as he throws it, catching the curtains on fire, but knocking the knife out of Mike's hands, which allows him to tackle Bobby. As Mike pins down Bobby, he notices Mike is a little too happy, which upsets Mike, causing him to completely wail him, distracting him from Bobby grabbing the knife and stabbing him in the throat. Mike pulls the knife out and stabs Bobby in the abs. Again, this is one of my favorite parts. I can't talk about it, but it was... I couldn't stop laughing at this. It was a pretty funny scene. Going back to Jason, he tells Claire that it's okay that she was right about him, and for her to move on and push forward and let go. Screaming, "Let go," one last time, releasing the arrow and getting Demi right in the eye.
Oh.
So it's funny how they foreshadowed that at the beginning, right? When he was teaching her how to shoot. I remember how you even questioned, well, how do we know if she made it?
Yeah,
Remember? You were like...
How do we know?
Well, we found out right now that she ends up does making it because she followed Jason's instructions, you know? So it was pretty cool how they foreshadowed that at the beginning, you know?
Yeah.
As Claire unties Jason, Demi tries one last time to get Claire, but gets stomped out. As they leave, they see the cabin on fire. Jason rushes in to get Bobby, who apologizes for forgetting him and thinking he's the killer. Bobby pulls a knife out of him and hands it to Jason as one last final thing before he dies. But Jason tells him he'll be very much okay. He's not going to die from a little wound like that.
I think he just wanted to be dramatic.
He wanted to be dramatic.
He just wanted to
But that's very Bobby, though. He's very dramatic.
Yeah, he just wanted to be like, tell my story.
Yes, exactly, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, okay. All right. As Shannon and Chris explain their relationship, we see Claire looking to the lake, joined by Jason, as he jokingly tells her how much work it'll take for camp to be up and running next year. She asks him what he plans to do as he leans in for a kiss, as the camera pans back to the shot of their silhouettes sharing a kiss by the lake. Cutting to a dope-ass song. Was it wasting all the good times that I'm wasting on the good time, right? It's like
that's
a great song. That is the end of our movie summary. Let's get on with the rest of the review. So what are your initial thoughts after watching this?
My initial thoughts, I think it's adding some Friday the 13th into it.
Really is.
Yeah, I noticed it a lot.
As I said at the beginning, this movie is very entertaining. I had to watch this like multiple times, so it was a pretty good watch. I would say this is almost within the likes of Army of Darkness, where it's more funny than horror. you know? But, you know, I really love that ending song, though, right?
It was so good.
I mean, what did you say it was?
Bussin'.
It was bussin', as the kids say. That song was bussin'. Who was your favorite character? I think I already know this answer.
But there is a couple more I like.
So tell me who your first one is.
It's Chris, then Wolfhard's character.
Of course.
I like Claire too.
Okay.
I also like the guy at the beginning where he's like doing the guitar. And
Adam Piley. Okay. Yes, John. Yeah. Okay. I like that actor too. He's also in Sonic.
Oh.
Remember? Yeah. He's in Sonic. He's in the Sonic movies. Yeah. No, that's a good list right there. I personally love Bobby, Billy Bryk. You know, the co-director, and you know, he is the funniest character in my opinion. I like how he gets all heartbroken and, you know, starts whining whenever someone's like doesn't think he's cute or girls don't find him attractive, you know.
I did also kind of like Shannon, but like Shannon, I just got this weird feeling about her.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I
was like, I like her ponytail.
Okay.
But there's something about her.
Okay.
I don't know how to describe it.
Do you have a least favorite character in this movie? Like a character that just annoyed you?
The Timothy Chalamet.
Ari, okay, so I would say he's supposed to be the least favorable character in here because he's pretty insufferable. The way he's always trying to implement his nut allergy into every little thing.
Yeah.
But I think that's what makes him so funny. But I can see that. I can see how. Yeah, he can be your least favorite character.
And I don't even know if you know this, but I grew up with a mildly severe nut allergy.
Yeah, I think you might have mentioned it.
So
I also didn't like Demi a lot.
Okay.
Like when I thought she was dead and then she just came back, I was like, ugh, not her.
Okay. What was your favorite part in the movie?
My favorite part? My favorite part is when Timothy Chalamet looking person and Claire are far away from each other and he's like, oh my god, I'm allergic to nuts.
Yeah, he's just crying about that nut allergy. That part is pretty funny, actually. That's a good part right there.
They're so far away from each other.
They are, yeah, he's crying about it. As if his life is in danger.
I know.
It's so funny.
it's like if I held a gun to you for 5 minutes, but like, relax, Ari. Doesn't have any bullets in it.
It's nothing like that.
I have two favorite parts, but I can't talk about them in this video. Let's just say it involves Spider-Man 2 and getting really excited. So, sorry. You gotta watch the movie for that one. You get that. What would you rate this movie?
I would rate this movie a 10 out of 10, but hear me out.
Okay.
It wasn't too scary, but it was really funny.
I liked it a lot. I mean, I had to watch this I think 4 or 5 times, and it was a pretty enjoyable watch, actually.
I honestly wanted to watch it again.
Okay. So y'all heard it here first. A 10 out of 10 movie coming from Violet.
But it is also because Ben Wolfhard's in there, and I'm a big fan of Stranger Things.
Okay. That makes sense. You know, so you're already a little biased towards it, right? You know, you Ben Wolfhard's in it. He written and directed it. You know, I can see that. You know, it may not be for everyone though, right? I mean,
some people have a different opinion on it.
Okay, but that's okay though, right?
Yeah.
I mean, any final thoughts on this movie?
Final thoughts? I think they just want to add other movies and like they just want to add other movies to that movie so that people have a hard time guessing, because I think they didn't want to just have that movie alone. They wanted to add other
So you think this movie is the start of like a trilogy?
Yeah.
I can see that. Like maybe like a summer trilogy or a seasonal trilogy. Sorry, it was one hell of a summer. Why not go into fall or winter? That's a pretty good idea, though.
Yeah.
Ben Wolfhard, Billy Bryk, you know who to call about ideas over here. I think this is a pretty entertaining movie. I liked it a lot. It's enjoyable. It has a pretty funny cast, you know. it's a young cast, you know. I mean, but they make you laugh. They make you chuckle. Honestly, this movie again, it has elements of Friday, but also it doesn't take itself too seriously. Though I mean, it knows it's a horror comedy or a comedy horror, as I should say.
Yeah.
So that is it for our movie review. Thank you all for watching. This really has been one hell of a summer, hasn't it? And I can't wait for the next one. So make sure y'all give us a like and follow if you're not already. And let us know down in the comments what y'all think of this movie. And if y'all haven't seen it, it is currently streaming on Hulu right now. Anyways, that is it. Y'all stay groovy out there.